Hello and welcome to the Dust of the Violet Crystals. This is a short visual novel about a flesh-eating dust that blows through a small town, and you are left to try and survive alone against the hordes of the listless humans. Sounds very interesting, so let's start a new game. Some very epic music, I'm loving it. Chapter 1. Look out. Oh, we got timed one. Tripping, they almost catch me, dodge. Okay, impressive. Thank you. Tell me about yourself. I'm female, I'm male, I prefer not to choose. I prefer not to choose. Okay, ooh. Type your name or the suggestion. Okay, I am. Hopefully this won't make Red short. Hopefully this won't up the game's difficulty. Okay, I'm only a single shirt, not shirts. Okay, I opened up a shop with my wife, husband, or a good friend. Yeah, with a good friend, because why not? Yes, I see now. So sorry about your friend. Well, Rip, why choose it when they're gonna end up being dead anyway? Wish you luck, Red Shirt. Don't forget the mirrors. Oh, what about the mirrors? Okay, toggle menu, click the violet dust on either side. Oh, okay. Pain in my hip creaks through the depths of my subconscious. Shatters the remnants of my dreams. Great. I slept on the pebble. Again. Sit up and find the pedal, temporarily sated by chucking it at the nearest tree. No hungry. I should check my pack. Okay, open inventory and drink some water to restore health. Okay, inventory. Okay, so we got very clean source of water. Okay, what do we got? Life-saving source of water, keep it full, both for cooking and necessary for catching fish. And the most valuable survival tool, handle with care. Okay, weird. Mirror. Okay. Don't know why we're keeping it. Decent string for making snares. Okay. Right, water bowl, yep. Careful though, some miners may also increase toxicity. Okay, interesting. Okay, I also noticed that, yeah, in the left or right hand corner, also got a dust meter as well. Interesting. Food supplies are getting low, I should find more. I should head to the field for game or the stream for fish. I reckon we try our luck with fish, because they hopefully won't have been affected by the dust. Fish begin to sink slightly into the increasingly moist earth as I near the riverbed. Foam and seaweed lap at the sand. Few foul-smelling and eyeless fish peering through the entangled masses. Find a sturdy Lincoln branch and dig through my pack for the string and fishhook. Near the shoreline, I lean against the tree and cast a line. The yawn and a whiff of foul air draws my attention to one of the fish. With little else to entertain me, I find myself staring back at it. Its emptiness beckons me. Death of my loneliness is evident, given to the irresistible urge to respond to it. At least you don't have to deal with this anymore, fish. Look at it. It's so creepy. Are you mad? A fish. I am talking to a fish. I shake my head at my own ridiculousness, leaning back against the tree once more. Hours go by with no bites. Shooter leaves a saddle across the sand, leaving no footprints, altering nothing. I need to do the same thing to tomorrow. Turn back to the fish. Can't blame me. Hey. Used to do this for fun, you know. Still a day trying to catch something only to toss it back, uncaring. Now I just want to eat. Spoils the fun. Just how I'm sitting and close my eyes, enjoying how the light plays against my eyelids. Sighing, I lean back further and the world around me quietens. Hand touching my shoulder, my best friend peeks around me to watch me slide the final window to go into the place. Okay, don't like the ominous music, following our dream here. Don't slip. Wait, oh careful. Do you stop that? It'll make me actually mess up. Yeah, I trust you. Turns and admires my work, and spins full circle and looks at the shop. When he faces me again, I notice his eyes are pooling with tears. Pulls me into a tight hug, then steps back. So proud of this. You should be. So we should be. He looses his arm in mine and turns me to face the open sign on the door. Want to do the honors? I grin and reach out for the sign, flipping it over with a flourish. Grins and spins, his arm still looped in mine, nearly pulling me over as we laugh. Oh, that's kinda cute. Tug. What? Where? I mean, a fishing line, obviously. Next instant, tugging and I realized the fishing pole was moving. A fish. I'd fallen asleep. Heart sinks as I realized I hadn't taken time to set the mirrors up. Moving to check the line and see my mirrors are set up in a semicircle at my feet. Did I set them up after all? Really need to be more careful, Mr. Fish. Line tugs again and I set to reeling in my meal. You gained some fish. Hell yeah. Finally we got a bite. And a good kind of bite too. After a few more hours of walking, the light begins to dim. One thing I took for granted before the dusk came was how easy it was to travel. Don't dare drive anywhere now. Only gas stations frequently full of listless, but the dust itself moves too quickly. You drive right into a cloud of it without warning. Checking my map, I see I'm getting close to the outskirts of the next town and decide to make camp. Satisfied with the mirror setup, I sit down by the fire. Almost done. Uh-oh. Something nearby. A listless? Out here? Snap up and tense, ready to turn. Single deer bounds out in nearby brush and flicks its tail, then flees. Oh. Can you hear me? Who's that? Can you hear me now? I see fingers of fear trickle down the base of my neck as I continue trying to spot who is toying with me. What do you want? Whisper comes again, followed by an eerie silence as though the intruder is contemplating their next move. I tense, expecting an assailant. Instead, the sudden volume of the sound seems to split my head in two. I feel myself lose consciousness at the influx of pain. Maybe now? Howling in the corner of our modest shop, I can see them. See them through the glass, weaving to and fro as if only held upright by the merest of threads dangling from the hazy sky. Violet light and that had previously consumed their retinas had faded to a dull glow. For hours I have hovered inside my shop, waiting, watching. Friend and I have chosen the reflective decor in an attempt to catch the eye of passersby to pursue our wares. Do not understand why, but it seems to confuse them. Almost immediately on turning to the glass, the light in their eyes will fade. They will either stand idly, as if waiting, or turn and join the ranks of the others. Sunscreen shadows my thoughts as they turn away, and as I stand and walk to the glass. Low woman run and scream through the streets. No. As soon as I speak of the littlest, one of the listless turns towards the window, pressing myself against the wall in terror. Weaves to and fro in indecisive concentration, Tears knowing it heard sound, but the mirrored letters confusing it. After a few moments, it turns back towards the woman. Time I woke up enough nerve to return to the glass to try and help. It is too late. But the listless aren't even the worst part. The dust is always the worst. Throbbing ache in my head slowly breaks through my slumber. I groan as I wake. I sit up, I feel something slide up my arm and softly hit the ground. Look down to see my mirrors have been placed carefully around my sleeping form. I know I didn't do it this time. Who is helping me out here? Rubbing my temples, I scan the nearby woods. Nothing moves or makes a sound. Pick up my mirrors and glance over at my tent. Dinner had been roasting rests on my backpack. Single human bite mark is missing. Having a trade for setting out the mirrors. But why attack me in the first place? Not much time has been lost, so I pack up camp and head towards the next town. Yeah, maybe that person who was talking to us? I don't know. So, were they watching us before when we were fishing? Because we saw that the mirrors had been set up without our knowledge before as well. As I make my way through the field, I reach out and let the tips of the tall grass brush my fingertips. Join the way the wind sends waves of altered shades across the landscape. Is this better? Jump and spin full circle, but in the middle of this meadow there really is nowhere to hide, nobody in sight. Am I losing my mind? Oh good, it is better. Eyes widen, try once more to find the individual speaking. There's nothing short of brush and empty strawberry bushes. How are you doing that? I think it's called telepathy? Reach up and feel my forehead. Wonder if I have a fever. You aren't sick. I don't think, anyway. Wes is right. Don't feel warm at all. But would I? To myself? A little, yeah. Freeze a moment, realizing they must be reading my thoughts. This is so amazing. Okay, no need to start crying. Thought I was all alone. So scared. Officially need to find someone to talk to. I'm hearing voices now. No you aren't. Well, okay, you are, but please, I need your help. I move to palm my forehead once more, just trying to comprehend what is happening. Ethereal bell-like melody floats to my ears. The dust. In panic, I rip open my backpack and dump the mirrors on the ground. Once they are arranged around my sitting form, I swallow and watch the gaps in the grass. Creasing from the base of the grasses, flying around the crevices of every leaf, twig, and blade of grass. Watch as it engulfs my view, and with nothing to do but wait, my mind begins to wander. Moments after I back away after the screen, that listless turn as a hole and stand in the open street. Curiosity becomes my terror, enough that I peek through the letters to watch. At first my only thought is how beautiful it is. Everything glitter and light. His fingers stretch across the pavement, feeling along the building walls. Cruise to the waiting listless. Do not move as it grasps their ankles and tickles up their legs. I frown as it thickens around them, screwing my ability to see. Mere moments later, as if blown by an incoming storm, dust retracts back. As I stare at the now empty street, my first thought was the listless had been swept up with it. Then I noticed their clothes. Dozens of sets of clothes littering the streets where they stood. They never uttered a sound, never moved from their spot. Simply stood there while I'd eaten them. Okay, so that's why we don't want to interact with the dust. But, why is it, deterred by the mirrors? Deadly but short-lived. Watches the fingers of dust feel along the edges of the mirror before retreating. Not wanting to waste any more daylight, I gather the mirrors and continue walking toward the edge of the next town. Can we talk now? Oh no. I thought I was done with this. Please, I need your help. Urgently. I'm running out of food. Food? I can't get out. I'm trapped. Are you there? Can you still hear me? I can. Okay. Let's pretend for a moment this is real. How are you talking to me? I'm not sure. The dust did something different to me. It ate too much of it. Well, I ate too much of it, maybe. Why would you eat the dust? Take a deep breath, find the urge to ignore the voice and pretend this isn't happening. Trapped then. Where and how? There's ice around me. So, north of you? You can tell where I am. I can tell you aren't cold, and I am. I suppose that is enough. How am I supposed to help you? Come find me. Please, I'm almost out of food. Can't talk much more right now. It's hard. I'm tired. Please come. Can we even trust this person? If they're real, that is. Stand for a few more minutes in the sudden silence, contemplating what the mysterious voice had to say. North, but how far? Yet another person. Thought it was the only person left alive out here. Could I really pass it up? Pull out my map and look over it carefully. Anywhere with enough ice to be constantly cold would be very far north. May as well head in that direction for now. Put my map away and continue my trek towards town. Once I arrive, I scan the buildings for listless. Not seeing any, look at the signage and set sights on the grocery store right at the edge. Oh, do you mean it? More likely to have listless is also more likely to have edible food. Not daring to venture further into town anyway, decided to try there. Cautiously approaching the shattered windows of the faded brick building, peer in and see items strewn about on the side. Not wanting to remain in the open any longer than necessary, carefully step over the windowsill. Foot crunches on broken shards of glass, and I wince at the sound. With a few more crunching steps, my foot finds a clear tiled floor. Most of the displays had been destroyed. I begin to lose heart as I scan the handful of aisles nearby. Finally, my eyes fall on a display with a few items remaining. I only have room for 2 in my pack, so I must choose wisely. Okay, we can go candy bar, canned beans, butcher knife, bag of seeds, and soda. Okay, I say we go canned beans. And I don't think the knife will help us with anything. Because it seems that the mirrors are what we need, so I'm thinking we'll need something to drink, so let's go with soda. Put 2 items into my bag and zip it back up. Uh-oh, something got knocked over. Spin and crouch, turn towards the sound. Shot a footstep to the other side of me, tells me what I fear. Listless. Crawl along the aisle and peek around the corner. 3 of them stand there, facing a small pile of blankets in the corner. Or so I think until the top blanket shifts and raises, revealing pink glitter shoes and a tiny, terrified face. A little girl. Okay, I guess we're not alone. She pulls to me and her eyes fill up with tears. Welcome actually races off to my left. This decided to light up on Martha at the sound, and turned towards where she ran. Yeah, let's call and distract Listless. Hey! Listless turned as one, eyes focusing on me with renewed intensity. Okay, get out of there, little girl. I got it. I hope. Spin and race back down the aisle, watching myself over the window ledge. Behind me, they clamber over the edge, one of them getting stuck on the shard of glass, yet still trying to continue, oblivious to his lifeless essence running down the outer brick wall. No time, no time. Race will circle around the building and jump back through the window. Listless now twitching his last as I pass. At least one down. Little girl, we don't have time. Where are you? Tiny form peeks around the corner of an aisle with me, eyes barely visible in the shadow of her blanket. Yeah, hi. We need to get out of here, like now. Bend down, hand held out, beckoning to her as gently as I dare. Smart to be wary of strangers. Please, want to save you from those things. Need to run, now. He hesitates a moment more, but a sound on the side of the building spurs her to me. Pull into my arms and quickly make way back to the window. Freeze her to see the two remaining Listless standing right outside the window, gnashing their teeth in our direction, but shaking their heads in confusion. Occurs to me that the tiny mirror on her blankets are confusing them. Oh, so that's what was on her blankets. I thought it was just like a weird decor on it or something, weird circles, whatever. It was a polka dotted one, but man, that is smart, little girl. That is really smart. Shifts to the obscures my head from the line of sight and they calm. Now unable to see them, I listen as I take a few steps, but they appear to have gone dormant. Shaky breath escapes my lungs as I creep over the glass. Each crunching footstep leads to more gnashing teeth, and I have to wait between steps for them to still. Awkwardness of the window causes me to slip. The girl cries out, squeezing tighter around my neck. One of their shoes bumps onto my leg, but before they can react, I shift a blanket over my line of vision and run. Clinging to the young girl until I'm panting with breath and have to settle her down. She grabs my hand and we disappear into the edge of the forest, Listless stopping near the edge. Okay, I think we lost him. Urkel stands a few feet away, silently watching me. It's okay, I'll stand over here. Are you hurt? She moves back and forth as she shakes her head. No. Gonna set up a place for us to rest. She waits while I make camp, keeping her blankets clung around her head. Do we ask, or don't press for any information right now? Yeah, I honestly think that's the best option for now, because she doesn't seem to want to talk to me right now, so let her talk on her own. So I move to sit down by the tent. Stands for a few moments longer, walks to my side and lays down. Blanket never leaves her tight-fisted grip, and soon her form stills with slumber. Aw, that's cute. On to chapter 3. I sit up, shadow pots of random objects strewn about the floor. What is that? Getting to my feet, I called out to my friend, heading towards the greenhouse at the back. Outside I can hear people screaming. Relief, I see him standing just inside. His back is to me. Yeah, that's never a good sign in a horror situation. Hey, are you hurt? What's going on? I place my hand on his shoulder and he shifts towards my touch, but still doesn't fully look at me. Are you okay? Did you fall? No, but my head, it just hurts so bad. Why don't you come inside and sit down? Get you some medicine and we can try to find out what happened. That. Shoulders shudder underneath my palm, and he violently bends over, clutching his head. His head whips at me, and I stumble back and reflect a shock and horror. Bright glow emanates from the redness of his emotionless face, and he starts to walk towards me. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So yeah, he got turned into one of the listless. Wake to a soft tapping noise and startle into sitting up. Eyes follow the sound to where the little girl sits a short distance away, kicking her dangling feet against a stump. She's smiling down at her cupped hands. What have you got there? Yep, guess she still doesn't want to speak to me. Moves her palms, and in them is a small mound of blueberries. Oh, nice. Yeah, let's praise her for bringing some food. Wow, you did well. How do you know how to find them? Smile widens and she opens her mouth as if ready to speak, but a smile falters and she looks back at the berries. Never mind that then. Wonder, is she mute by chance? Come on over, we'll share them. Hops off the stump and walks over to me. Take one of the berries and eat it slowly, allowing her to eat the rest. She is a danger to you. Again, how can we trust you? How do we know that you're not, like, working with the dust or the listless or whatever, and you want us to be on our own or whatever? Barely managed to keep my face from betraying the sudden intrusion into my thoughts. Just brought me berries. You know what I mean. How will you keep her safe? She'll slow you down. Eat all your food. Are you really trying to convince me to abandon a little girl while you're asking me to help you? That's what I thought. Take a deep breath and turn towards the girl. Alright, are you ready to go? Hops off the stump and walks to stand a few feet away from me. Still walking, she follows timidly behind. Realizing she probably has been as hungry for conversation as I have, but is likely too afraid, decided to attempt to break the ice. I know it's hard to travel with a stranger. Maybe we could say our names and it would help? I'm Richard, and you are? Gina. Continue walking and consider asking her something else. Well, at least we know she can talk now. Let's ask about a blanket. A very smart move. I like it. Blanket is beautiful. I know. But I'm alert to keep from laughing at the blatant statement. Have you had it a long time? My Nana made it for me. Well, your Nana is very smart. I got it yesterday. Yesterday? Poor thing has no sense of time. Is it also a hat? No. My hair hurts if I take it off. Your head hurts. Uh-oh. Don't like that, how she said that. Music makes my head hurt. Music? Meaning the dust? The tiny mirrors on it keeping it at bay? Probably a good idea to keep it there then. Why don't you have a blanket? I guess I don't need one. Oh. Okay, I'll keep mine then. That's a good plan. Why are we gonna comment on her shoes? Fuck it, why not? Oh, there's sparkle on your shoes. Alright, sparkly shoes. I forgot that was mentioned. They're my Wish Princess shoes. Wish Princess? Like in my princess book. I can make wishes come true. You can? Wow. One time yesterday, I wished a unicorn. Oh, neat. Did you get to ride it? Yes, I did. That's fantastic. Can I make a wish, Gina? No. No, why not? I'm out of magic dust. Oh, I see. Yeah, it all makes total sense. How do you get more? I can't. Why not? Send it all to my baby brother and my mummy. Help them cross the bridge. To where they can play forever. Oh. No. Poor kid. There's a magic bridge that people go on to get there. So if I give them all my magic, they'll be okay. Clear my throat, and I'm grateful a blanket keeps her from seeing my watery eyes. Sure, that'll work, Gina. She smiles but waves slightly. Better talk about something else. And me to go into a family? Let's ask how old she is. You're very smart for a... How old are you, Gina? 4? Wow, 4? Even more amazing. Man, poor kid. Out here all alone. Okay, let's ask about a family. Do you have any family around here? Helps in the tracks and stares at the ground. Of course, her family's probably gone. You know what? Never mind. My mummy told me not to talk to strangers. Heart tears, and I rack my brain with a way to repair damage done before she decides not to trust me. That's true, but we need to escape the bad people. I call them listless. Do you have a name for them? They scare me. I know they do. How about we talk about something else? Well, we're done for conversation, so I had questioned her enough for now. Open my map to see where we can head next. That evening, as Gina sits curled up at my feet, I stare at the mirrors and wonder for the first time what the future may hold. After the dust had taken my friend, my days had narrowed to nothing more than the next step in the dirt, next marker on my fading map. Moonlight glints off her wish shoes, catching my eye, and I promise myself I'll keep her safe. Sorry I got angry. I jump and bump Gina, causing her to stir. Let's wake her up. Are you still coming? I don't really have anywhere else in mind. I'm worried about Gina. Maybe she could stay somewhere. You mean a city? It's insane. They're listless everywhere. Well, she survived before, didn't she? Frowned down at her. Yes, but how are they going to just leave her somewhere? Maybe some others have survived. But to risk a city... Can she really keep surviving in the wild like this? Barely know how to keep yourself alive. I've managed. You know I'm right. Grumble and rub my temples. I'll think on it. For now I need to sleep. As soon as I finish speaking, the bells of dust... As soon as I finish speaking, the bells of the dust sound... I recheck my mirrors. Sweet sin and harmlessly floats around us. This whisper puffing the forest into obscurity. Scanning the tree line, my eyes widen as they fall on a young woman sitting on a log a few feet away. Mirror discs and reflected tape shimmer on her pants and jacket. Curls are covered by a hat full of mirrored surfaces tied together with a multi-colored cords. Smart move. Also, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the tin-fold hat type of person. Finally, the one time it actually comes in use. Fascinated by her calm demeanor, watch as more the dust curls around her ankles, bouncing harmlessly away. Bite one of my knuckles as one tendril finds its way along a seam, makes its way into a shoulder. But it too is ultimately stopped by a cross-section of reflected tape. Throughout it all, she sits nonchalantly, brushing away any wandering tendrils of dust, but but never taken her eyes off my face. Dust fully recedes, she glances casually back at it, turns to me and smiles. Interesting. That was nerve-wracking. Are you really okay? Smiles and nods. Oh, okay. Nobody wants to fucking speak to me. Am I that? Do I really give that bad of a first impression? The sound of my voice, Gina stirs and wakes up, rubbing her eyes. Tenses a grab at my leg on seeing the new arrival, waves and smiles at her. Who are you? Not gonna tell me? Points at her throat. Marks a series of motions with her hands. So she's gonna be the mute. Oh, I don't know your sign language. I'm sorry. Shrugs and smiles. Look at the ground around us, but I don't see anything good to write with either. Dirt is too packed and full of grass to be easily done. Look at the one, not sure what to refer to as. Where's the reflected gear around? How about mirror for now then? Larson shrugs, then nods. Alright then. Nice to meet you, Mirror. You understand everything I'm saying? Shrugs and wobbles her hand back and forth. I see. Were you following us? Embarrassed nod. How long? Maybe she's using a fishing rod. Holy shit, you've been following me since then? Wait, so you're the one who's been putting my mirrors around me and that? Huh, okay. Since I last went fishing? Mirrors then, that was you? Nods. Larson points at me, then puts her hand by her mouth. Makes her hand talk, then makes a swimming motion. You saw me talking to the fish, oh no. Lost again. Oh great. And yet you still followed me, even though I probably looked fucking crazy. Reach up and gesture at her and symbol. Very smart with a reflected tape. Mouse thank you. Moves one palm to her mouth and down. Points at me, walks her fingers across her palm, shrugs and tilts her head. I'm heading north. Shrugs, tilts head. I think someone may need my help. Taps her chest and points at us. You want to come with us? Nods. Alright, if you have survived this long, I'm sure you'll be a great help. She's coming with us? Yeah. Why is she not talking? Is it a game? Some people can't talk, Gina, that's all. Oh, she has mirrors on her hand too. Yeah, she does. I like her. Aw. Gina stands and walks over to Mirror. Do the bells make your head hurt too? Mirror glances over at me with unease. You are coming with us. Nods. Mirror holds out her hand and Gina takes it. Oh, God, they're so cute. A pair of them turn to me, pack up our things and lead on. Believe there is a person in the next town. How do you know that exactly, Mr. Mysterious Person? Or Miss Mysterious Person? Don't want to judge. Stop. Barely noticing Gina bounce off the back of my legs. How could you know that? Tried talking to other people before. You're the first person I worked with. Most people would pass out every time. Or I can no longer sense them. Mirror taps me on the shoulder and I turn. I had a puzzled expression and let out a breath of air and rubbed the bridge of my nose. Someone talks to me. Not hearing voices, at least. I don't think so. Claim that there is someone in the next city. Much as I hate to admit it, be a relief to prove that it isn't just in my own head. I think we should go. Mirror thinks for a moment, then mimics a book with her hands and traces a path on one palm. Grab my map out of my pack and hand it to her. Rubs at her bottom lip, points it to a river and traces her finger up to the right. It's here? Jab at the paper before realizing my error. Wait for her to look back up at me. The city is here. Not. Think we should visit the river first? Motion's eating. Oh, that is true. Yeah, let's go to the river. I think you're right on that. Yeah, good idea. Rose smiles and bends over to take Gina's hand, and we start to walk. Reach the river, Gina lets out a squeal and runs to the water. Stops at the edge and kicks at some foam. Puts to adjust her eye, then Gina. Yeah, you keep an eye on Gina. Good idea. Thanks. Find some sticks for fishing rods and I can see if I can find anything else around. I return, I hand Mirror a fishing pole while Gina wanders happily a short distance downriver. Laugh as she starts digging a minnow trap. Lean over and tap Mirror's shoulder. Worth a try, but I doubt she'll catch any. Points to Gina, hugs herself. Pretends to wipe a tear away. I agree, she's a tough little one. Mirror looks around and finds a small twig that flattens the dirt. Your story. After she writes, I make sure she can see my face before I reply. I used to own a shop with my friend. Sold what? Small items. Homemade toys, a few clothing choices. Mirrors. Nods and thinks a moment. Okay. Takes her head and smooths the dirt out. Then I touch her arm and she looks up at me. Kids? Barris nod. No, I have never had any. Sigh with relief. Understand the hesitation in asking. Should I ask her anything? But before we do that, I noticed that my health is quite low. Oh, I think we'll be... let's try eating these beans. Oh, didn't mean to click out that. Okay, let's try eating them. That gave us not much health. Let's also try drinking some soda. Did I even give us anything? I don't even know. But I gave us an empty can, I guess. Hopefully we don't need any of that later. Can I see... well, we'll just have to do with that then. Okay, let's ask for her actual name. Oh, okay, achievement for learning her name, that's cool. Revia. How do you pronounce that? I'm just gonna call you Mira. Mira is much easier to pronounce. Where is she from? Where do you live before all of this? East. Cortia. That's quite far. Shrugs. Well, I'm impressed. Where are you in, well, work? I think most people would be. What did you do? Security monitors. Oh. Nice. You built them or tech? Watched. Oh, okay. Tried alarm. It's too fast though. Yeah. Maybe I should ask something else. Ask why she joined us. What made you decide to join me? Points to Gina. Oh. You wanted to help protect her? Shakes head no, then hesitates and wobbles a hand. Points at me. Can't. Too bad. You mean I can't be too bad if I saved a little girl? Ah, okay, got it. Nice. So it's a good thing that we did actually save the little girl, because otherwise then we still would have been on our lonesome after all this. Laugh and help her pat the dry flat again. Okay, ask about her hat. Dust stops her your clothes. Why the hat? Holds arms out straight and blank stares. Makes a cut motion across the neck. Oh, probably because she doesn't want to get turned into the purple-eyed zombies. So Gina is right. Keeps you from being listless. Saw mirrors. Stops. Oh, you watched? I'm so sorry. Okay, well, nice talk with ya. Let Gina play a little longer as I set the mirrors around our camp. Vina joins inside the makeshift tent with us, even though her clothing would likely keep her safe. Put out the fire and we settle into sleep. Greenhouse, a makeshift circle of mirrors surrounds my friend who stares by an unused chair. I have to leave. Sound of my voice, he raises his head. Violet light flickering brighter, but the mirrors preventing him from making a connection. Turns full circle, oblivious to half-eaten food being trampled beneath his feet. Need to find help if I can. Don't know if any part of you can still hear me. I've left some fresh water and food right here. There's more in the kitchen. Okay then. Grab my backpack full of supplies and turn towards the door. Finally arrive at the edges of the city and scan to see where we dare visit. Vina breaks out in a grin past my arm, pointing in the direction of the library. Not sure what that would have for us. Likely aren't many reflective surfaces either. Why go there? Holds hand up, pleading. Okay, do we go there or not? But before we do that, we need more health. Do we eat the fish or? Okay, that gave us quite a bit of health. But, that will go to the library then, I guess. Okay, we can try. Maybe they have a kitchen in the back. House and science, thank you. Okay, yeah, cause we're gonna need more food. So we make our way to the back entrance of the building. Keep the shadows as often as we can. Gina clinks her Vina's legs as we finally arrive at the back door. Try the door handle and find it unlocked. Turn it and cautiously head inside. Find an empty kitchen, I relax and wave Gina and Vina inside. Gina walks over to the cupboards and starts searching for food. Glance at Ravina and she shrugs, seeing no reason not to let her. Let me make sure if it's safe. You can go find what you wanted, okay? Nods. Into the library, peering around each aisle, listening for any movement. Find the front door boarded shut and nobody inside. So I turn back to the kitchen to let Ravina know it's safe. Run my hands over some of the books, reminiscing. Practically hear my friend's teasing laughter as he reads a few lines of a romance novel from over my shoulder. Hopefully it's not like 50 Shades of Grey or something. Eyes full of tears and I snap my hand back to my side, lest the books tease further memories. I wait to Ravina to go ahead and look. She smiles and heads inside. I set to help Gina. A short time later, Ravina returns with a book clutched to her chest, eyes shining with happiness. Alright, so what is it? Hands it to me and I open it to take a look. Book on sign language. Oh, you got this for me? Nods. Yeah, this is great. Well, thank you, Ravina. Very thoughtful. I can read it while we camp. We'll have to decide what I should learn first. Nods waits at the door. Yeah, we should get out of here. I mean, we're doing pretty alright without needing to know sign language, but it helps us talk to Ravina more. Sure, why not? You gained a library book. Well, if best comes to worst, we can use it to bonk a few heads. Three of us exit to the alley. Inside the building, I hear shuffling feet and opening doors. One glance towards the tree line shows we are blocked in by approaching shadow and flickering violent orbs. In one forward motion, I turn to Ravina to the right and grab Gina. Her closing in silent terror. I know the gesture will be understood. Run. On to chapter 5 now. Race through the streets, and I know I won't be able to keep this pace up with Gina in my arms. I need the safest building, and fast. A quick glance at what is nearby, and I choose the fitness center, restaurant, apartments. For partners, people are going to be a lot there. Same with restaurants, and probably same with fitness center. Hold on, fitness center would have a lot of mirrors, right? Let's go there. And as the listless close in, energy level means nothing to them. Continue until they drop. These are doors to the fitness center, and I think whatever gods are watching that they slide open automatically. One of the main entrances is a series of signs. We choose. Okay, we'll go to the right. That's probably the best way we can go. Race to the right and see the pool area entry door has been shattered. I slow down just enough to be careful on the shreds of glass and head directly to the back wall. The long line of doors with mirrored trim. Fitness area is visible just behind it. We'll open the doors and we spill into the fitness area. Also running down my eyes that the safety close mechanism on the door slowly closes behind us. Don't dare grab at it for risk of breaking it. As the last inch shuts, a few of the listless run into the door before the mirrors scatter their thoughts and they still. Set Gina down and Vina and I fall to the floor to catch our breath. Yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping for, because, yeah, I mean, what fitness area wouldn't have a heap of, like, mirrors and whatnot? Listeners outside begin to wander, and hear a couple of them fall into the pool. Hey, they're just going for a swim. Even zombified people need to go swim for a bit. Finally, my lungs relax. There is silence. Vila looks over at me. They'll be out there for a while. Nods. Look around, and the back wall is lined with mirrors as well. Various towels are scattered around the room. Gather them up and lay them together, create a makeshift bed for Gina. Afterwards, she lays down and falls asleep. Gina walks around the room, checking windows and cupboards. I decide to read a book to Ravina or look around. Sure, let's read the book, because, I mean, not really much we can do to look around. So, pull out the book Ravina has shown me and scan the pages. Quite a few different motions, and I recognize thank you from Ravina doing it. Back of the chart of hand shapes and letters. I set to practicing them. Ravina opens a small side door, motions that it keeps going. Shuts it and puts a small towel along the crack at the base. Good idea. A few hours pass with us mostly resting and poking through the items strewn about for anything we could possibly use. The sky begins to darken, and I know it will make it hard to communicate with Vina. Should we stay here? Vina points at Gina in faint sleep, then nods. Yeah, you're right. Let her rest. It will probably stay out there anyway. Maybe we should have kept our mouth shut. Spin faced the hallway door at the sound of something trying to open it. Vina sees my reaction and moves to crouch protectively over Gina. Grabbed an empty weight bar next to me and watches the door. I have nowhere to go. Door jerks again. Someone curses and kicks it open fully, glaring down at a small length of towel. Oh, another listless? They're gone. Now get out. I'm sorry? Okay, nice that we kind of already know your names and everything. DJ and Ricky are these guys. He's quite being a dick. Yes, thank you. Broad-shouldered, college-aged college-aged male in a varsity jacket pushes past Dejan and into the room. Holds out a meaty hand to me. Ricky, and you are? Red shirt. Ricky turns to Ravina. She takes his hand and answer for her. Name is Ravina. Oh wow, and who is this? Wakened by the sounds, Gina pulls her blankets tighter around her head rather than respond to Ricky. Do you two live here? Yes, there is a small house attached to the hall. We were in the hall when we heard the first screams. Headed to the gym doors to see what was going on and glances at Gina. Yeah? They stopped at the reflected doors. Didn't understand why at first. First we still don't really... I suppose we still don't, not really. Thought we were going to be trapped here. Found the house, the owner was tending the front desk. Everyone's gone now though. They can't stay. You know the dust will come soon, Dish. They can stay the night. Why don't you go make them some food? Dishan turns and heads back down the maintenance hall. He's not going to poison us, is he? Yeah, let's thank him. Thank you for letting us stay. Of course. Don't have much left, but you look famished. I'm sure he is down there grumbling about it. Imagine food isn't easy to come by out there. No, it is not. Yeah, it isn't. Are you a family? Glanced at Ravina, whose cheeks flushed slightly. No, nothing like that. At least not intentionally, or initially. Ravina found me and I found Gina. Gotcha. Rubs the back of his neck, clearly searching for something to say. Decide to ask. Do you play sports? You do a couple. What did you study in college? Let's ask him what he studied in college. Gesture at his jacket. So, what are you studying? Oh, this jacket isn't actually mine. Oh, makes sense. Just helped on my family's farm. A farmer? Good skills to have now. Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, he turns to Gina and smiles. Hey, you know what? There is a game room here. Would you like to see? Do we advise her or allow her to go? Okay, I'm going to allow it for now, just as long as, you stay here in the building. I don't see why not. Ina reaches over and grasps my arm, shakes her head. What about the listless? We do have cameras that show the creatures are gone. I get it though, no reason to trust me that much yet. How about this? I think there are a couple of board games in there. I'll go grab them, okay? Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Gina smiles and nods at him and Ricky leads through the glass doors without hesitation. Not long after, Dejan re-enters the room with a small pot tucked under his arm, and a can of fruit in the other hand. Freezes as he enters the room and glares at me. Where is he? We stuffed him in a cupboard. No, we're not going to be saying that. He went to go find a game. Went to go find a game for Gina. He should be okay. Wish he hadn't just left like that. Alone. Moves over to one of the cupboard tops and sits down the meal, spreading out a few paper bowls. What did you make? Paella? Don't know what that is. Well, it should be anyway. Move closer, I cast a blend of spices and my stomach growls. Smells delicious. What do you mean should be? I don't have any saffron. I'm not even sure what they call this now. You're really enjoying this. I am a chef. Oh, would have been. Here. Vision turns and holds out a bowl to Gina, who runs over and digs in. Next bowls go to Ravina and I. After tasting it, I can't resist commenting. This is the most delicious, paella that I've ever had. Paella. Right. Well, it's amazing. Thanks. Try to each bite as long as possible, knowing it may be a long time before I enjoy another meal like this. Hell yeah, that brought up our health quite a bit, and also brought our dust down, I think. Shortly after filling our stomachs, Ricky returns with a few board games tucked under his arm. Lays them out where Gina can see him. Which would you like to play on? Gina points to the one with colorful characters smiling and eating candy. That's my favorite too. Smiles and they set up the game. Vina takes a spot near them to join in. Deegan and I sit on the benches, watching, and my heart warms when I see Gina laughing at Ricky's exaggerated loss. Good to see she can still laugh and play. Yeah, you'd be surprised what someone can live through. Yeah, I have a feeling you aren't referring to the dust. And my home did not approve of my life choices. Your cooking? Yeah, that too. Oh. Across the room, the others finish up their game, and Vina puts her hands to her cheek and feigns sleep. Yeah, we should probably get some rest. We won't get to do this often. Vicky and Deegan leave the gym area and head back to the house, settle down for the night. Well, thank you two, you were very nice. Next morning, I wake to the sound of Ricky and Deegan talking. Look up and Gina is sitting on Via's lap, watching me. Not creepy at all. Ricky turns to me and smiles. Morning, Sleepy Beauty. Why didn't you wake me? Figured this is the only good sleep you'll have for quite a while. Where are you heading anyway? Just north. Not really sure yet. Nowhere seems safe. There's a line east in mine, understand. Almost out of food, aren't you? Yeah. What I have found, the listless don't typically leave the city. Not sure why, but the woods have been empty of them. Finding food is hard if you don't know how. I suppose either of you are good outdoorsmen? No, not really. Yeah, let's give them some survival tips, because why not? They gave us some food, so might as well give them something in return, you know? Deegan walks through the hallway with a steaming pot of food. Here. Are you sure? Aren't you almost out of food? Deegan looks over at Gina, then back at me. You need it more than we do. Oh, I got an achievement. Cool compliments to the chef. Thank you, Deegan. Deegan shrugs and moves to give Gina and Venus some of the food. Do you have a pen and paper? Might not be much, but I can sketch out a note to edible plants. That would be a huge help. Stops in the hall and returns with some paper and pen. Do my best to remember as much as possible, and also add where I've been. Thank you. Hey. Turn to Deegan is holding a small plastic bag. Take it and read the side. Space blanket. Flipping over the snap at the top, pull it down and slide my thumb over the reflective surface. Wow, this is perfect. Don't you need this? I only had 2 of them. They're rather big. If you try, you could fit at least 2 of you. You know, both of us fit. Oh? Wait, does that mean you two actually are a couple? Because you did mention about, your family not approving of your, lifestyle, and God knows there are some parents like that who, yeah, we're just not gonna mention it. It's a huge help. Thank you. Shrugs and moves to lean back against the wall. Gained a reflective blanket. Hell yeah. Thank you for helping us with the tips. Vina and I gather up our things and she takes Gina's hand. Good luck, Richard. Monitor the show clear. Should be able to get out of here easily. Thank him again and head to the entrance. Outside, the streets are lit with early morning light and we race through to the forest, keeping in cover when possible. Whoever controls the creatures, it seems to limit their vision. They are fairly fast, but it is easy to lose them in the forest. Once deep enough in the forest, we make camp and pull out my mat for study. Vina and Gina rest near the tent. Gina's blanket tucked tightly around her head as always. Quickly she had seemed to adjust, yet I can tell even in her play how reserved she is. Reflected pain behind her eyes. Smile not quite reaching full width. Some tragic memories are impossible to erase, pressing themselves in small notches of our persona, till eventually become mere shadows of what we once were. Perhaps stronger, perhaps not. Melancholy this morning. God, just when we seem to have forgotten about you, you make your return. A bit. I have news that probably isn't going to help. Is there a huge horde up ahead or something? Well, yes, but that's not it. God, what's worse than that then? That's not what I need to tell you. I have been lying to you all along. Yeah, go figures. Chapter 6. Lied? About what? Maybe lie isn't the right word. I certainly haven't told you the whole truth. Tell me. Now. Truth that I'm north of you. And I'm encased in ice. But you're almost to me. How's that possible? I think it's better if you look for yourself. You might want to leave those two there. They might panic. They might panic, but you want me to come alone? I think it's best, yes. No way. We and Gina stir. We pack up our things. Now later the lighting around us changes. The sky is a bit violet. Is this like the epicenter of where the dust came from? Because if so, maybe we shouldn't have come here. I tried to warn you. Just a few more minutes away. Please don't leave when you see me. Turn to Ravina and she looks up at me. They're telling me that we need to see it is just a few minutes away. Not sure what we'll find, but they are worried we'll leave, so it can't be good. Nods grimly and glances down at Gina. Should I have brought her here? What other choice did I have? The walk in the fog of violet grows thicker. Heavy stench of heated metal and burning logs assaults our senses. Black soot laced on the forest floor scuffs our shoes and leaves ominous treads along our thighs. Gina reaches out to grab my hand, knowing my gut at bringing her worsens. Oh. Down at the crest of the next small hill, we see it. Deep crater, and in the center is a pile of human forms, leading up to a giant tear in the side of a massive object. It's a ship. An alien ship? So wait, is this not an actual zombie virus, but an alien virus? Look over at Ravina. Expression is torn between awe and terror. Gina's tiny knuckle grips her blanket even tighter and around her face. So maybe the tinfoil hat people were onto something, and that's why those people are surviving, maybe, like Ravina. When we're talking about tinfoil hat people, I mean, I wasn't thinking actual aliens, but here we are. I tried to warn you. Told you they would be afraid. I think I lied this time, so Ravina and Gina can partially follow the discussion. You said you were frozen in thin ice. This was an explosion. I am frozen. Cryogenically. There's no such technology. Not on your planet. Your ship. Ship caused all this, didn't it? Yes. That's why you need to let me out. I need to fix this. If I can repair the ship, I can make the dust stop. And how do we find you in this wreckage? I can tell you where to go, but... can't talk to you once you're inside, and... rub a hand down my face and sigh. Dusk will come shortly after I give you directions. You need to hurry. If you know when the dust is coming, why have you never told me this before? Would you have still trusted me? Yeah, probably not. Not sure I trust you now. So, what were my odds, then, of getting you here? What are you? Are you even human? I can't tell you right now. Running out of energy. Dust will come shortly after we speak. But then, you need to hurry before it comes again. Can't talk to you inside the ship. So you have to remember what I say. Through the crackhead, down the reflective hall. Third door down should be the one. When you get there, smash the cryo chamber. With what? Whatever you can find. Think you can remember? Yes. I hope. It's coming. Please hurry. Watch out from a vantage on the cliff's edge as it floats from the ship. Expected to flow from a large crack, but instead it flows from farther back. I got Vina and Gina tied to me. Gina hides her face against my shirt. Here's the size of our mirrors. Feel them causing a metallic screech. The particles inside push against it with increased force due to the proximity to the source. The key starts to Ingenia's throat. At the sound, I rub her arm to try and comfort her. Hovers over us, as if thinking, rushes off into the distance. Vina moves to stand, touch her leg and shake my head. No. Wait in tense silence till it appears at the forest edge. Slithers back over the blackened earth, weighed down by its most recent victims. So is this where they take all the victims then? I mean, that would explain the pile of human bodies. The last particle slides over the shredded metal and back into the ship, pull us to our feet. Hasten to grab the mirrors. No more time to question what we're trying to do. Gina follows, her face stony and resigned, eyes revealing nothing but reflections of the landscape around us. Seeing those deadened eyes, I squeeze her hand and vow to rid us of this threat. Climb down the steep incline to the base of the hill of bodies. Something rose, and I feel Gina press her face into my thigh. Collect her into my arms and nod over to Ravina to go first. Inside, the polished walls shine in stark contrast to the death outside. Follow voices and instructions, feet echoing in the pristine halls. Reach the door, it told us, and turn inside. Oh, hello there. Large chamber sits in the center of the room, creature encased in ice as it claimed. Lower Gina to the floor. Don't touch anything, Gina. Gives an outward sign of hearing me, instead transfixed by the frosted chamber in the center of the room. Figure inside is easy to overlook at first glance. His iridescent skin blending into the ice. Step closer, awed. Feel Ravina's hand on my shoulder, shattering my chance. She looks over at it and shakes her head. Yeah, I probably shouldn't touch it. Look away and down, spotting a thick metallic post. Lifting it, it feels dirty enough, and I move to swing it at the ice when Ravina catches my arm and shakes her head again. Moves her hand and begins to sign letters to me. How speak in ice? I frozen and realize she's right. How could this be speaking to me if it's frozen? I mean, it did say telepathically. It may not be human, but it certainly doesn't look aware. Nods. So if this isn't the voice, what is? Well, we can come up with the answer. The floor vibrates under our feet. Vina frowns at the floor, then grabs onto Gina. Vision goes hazy, and Vina's eyes widen in terror. Pain bursts behind my eyes, and I hold my head, trying to scream. Abruptly, my vision returns to me, and I almost fall over from the sudden clarity. Weight is on my head. As I reach up, I look over at Ravina. Fingers crinkle against the cloth on my head. Blanket Degen gave us. Great thinking. Thank you. Take a moment to wrap the sheets more tightly around my head. Stuff it into my jacket so it stays. Turn and face the cryo chamber. The voice tried to kill me, then when we refused to listen. Must have wanted us to kill this. Gesture at the alien in niceness. The captain, maybe? I think we should find a way to get it out. Looks at cryo chamber a moment, then nods. Floor shakes again, and a hissing sound comes from within the ship's walls. The dust. Three of us sit in the corner and wait, but nothing happens. Frowning, I remember the hallway. The reflection in the hallway. The only physical entrance is through the reflective hall. That must be why it needs us to get rid of the captain. Turn back and look at the cryo chamber more closely. It's all in some foreign language. I can't make it out. Mina walks over and runs her fingers over the smooth controls. Short series of high-pitched beep sounds, and she snatches her hand back. Air pressure hisses behind the machine. Casing glass of the machine glows a deep blue for a few heartbeats, and I hear liquid trickling away. Glass slides open and the captain falls to his knees, clenching and unclenching his fists as if struggling to remember where it is. A few more moments it shakes its head and stands up, tensing as it sees us. Looks us over and seems satisfied we are no threat to it. I'm not even gonna try reading any of that, but I don't understand it anyway. I don't understand. Yep, again, don't know what you're saying. Continues to mutter to itself and walks over to a wall. Pushes a few buttons and a digital display comes up, hovering in thin air. Gina gasps. The odd corners of the captain's mouth curve up when it glances at her. Goes through the screens until it comes to an image of a destroyed chamber. Violet dust engulfs the screen and it mutters again. Slams a hand down on a button nearby. Turns back to us with a renewed interest. Points at our reflected clothing and its head bounces as it laughs. Looking at approves of our clothing. Do you know what is attacking us? Scratches his head, the smile fading. Walks away and pushes another glyph display in. After a hiss of air, a small storage area opens. Multiple oddly shaped metallic and gelatinous objects clatter and squish against the floor as it searches for something. Turns, holding up a pair of crystalline ovals in one hand. Clicking one to the side of its head, turns and gestures for me to do the same. Rhea, do it, put it in your ear, or give it to Jean. Sure, let's do it myself. What could possibly go wrong? Take the clip and gently place it on my ear, and warmth emanates from it. In front of my eyes, the world takes on a blue glow. I hear the captain muttering in my mind, much as the voice did. A few heartbeats and removes the clip from my ear. Watercolor flicker runs along its marking as it squints in thought, then turns back to me. We need to get a yellow crystal. Oh hey, we can understand you now, yay! George drops at it, suddenly speaking our language so fluently. What? Come, into hall. We need a yellow shield crystal. Waits for me to follow and turns down the hall. Three of us turn to follow. As we enter the hall, the ground begins to shake again. We must hurry. Our left, the corridor winds and a long, clear window begins. Look through and immediately regret it. Ew, what the fuck is that thing? Writhing dark mass twitches on the other side of the pane, dust swirling into a giant wall. Shards of glass and empty tubes litter the floor of the chamber. Felt touch on my arm and jump. Must hurry and get crystal. What is that? Shark creaks and shakes, and I turn to see the tentacle beast is trying to pull itself out of its cylinder. ducks into a side chamber and comes out with a bright yellow crystal and hands it to me. Take this. It's for shield. Down the hall we turn into the main containment chamber. For a moment I forget to breathe. Multiple containment cells line the room, no shattered and nothing moving in any of them. Rather than waste time trying to decipher the contents of the few intact containment beds, turn to the captain. What now? Need to get the crystal up on their back platform. I need to use these controls. There. The set of stairs to the control platform is full, but the stairs to the others are shattered. In the center of the room, the tentacles writhe, trying desperately to reach us. Scan the room and point to a small vent that reaches from where we're standing to the top of the crystal ledge. I just got an achievement saying your companion stayed through to the end. Okay, cool. Vina follows my fingers and nods. Bend down and put a hand on each of Gina's shoulders. Gina, do you see that vent? Looks like a great place to hide, doesn't it? Do you think you could make this pretty stone or take this pretty stone and bring it across there for us? And put it in that hole on the ledge? It'd be nice and high and far away from that scary thing in the room. Eyes filled with tears for a moment, but she holds her head high. Yes I can. Hell yeah, Gina. You're one hell of a fucking trooper. I can help. I'm brave. Hell yeah, you are. So to hide my own fear and squeeze her shoulders. Yes, you are very brave, and I'm very proud of you. Here. All of us will be down there keeping the scary thing away, okay? Hand her the crystal and she begins climbing the vent. Turn to Ravina. You and I need to keep this thing busy. So Gina is safe. The captain can reach the controls. Okay. Nods. Vina reaches down and grabs a length of pipe that had been broken off. I see a shredded piece of metal and grab the blunt side of it. We move down the ladder to stand in between the tentacles and the control platform. Captain hugs the wall as it makes its way to the stairs. Creature in the center of the room shifts and its eyes flare brighter as it spots me moving closer. Tentacles twitch and raise from the floor, shimmers of the violet light racing across them and back to the creature. Indulge and slice, moving to get a few dismembered. Small tendrils curl towards the captain, but Revere races to slice them away before they can reach it. Full shakes against the creature's fury as a bright golden shimmer flashes the platform with Gina. Squint and see her running back towards the vents, then turn and see the captain push a button. Turn to leap down from the ledge as well. Time to go, Via. Doesn't hear me, but I make my way to her and grab her sleeve, pulling her towards the door. Just behind us, lines of light flow from the crystal, through the walls and floor of the chamber towards the door. Captain grabs Gina and pushes her behind it, just as Ravina and I push through. Door slides shut, and as it closes, a line of gold crosses the gap and continues on its way. Move toward it and see the golden light had acted as a seal, tracing the entire interior and soldering any gaps. Quite the failsafe. And echoed down the hall from us, I see the Guardian had already begun wandering the ship and assessing damage. Forehead makes his way to mine. Look down at the yawning, glassy-eyed Gina. Scoop her up and look at Ravina. Moves her hand up near her face. Now what? Okay. Well, that seems to be the end. I've got a couple of achievements for that. I apparently achieved the perfect ending somehow on the first go. But yeah, that was the dust of the violet crystals. very interesting story. I like that. I like the little twist on it. On the whole zombie apocalypse type story. It's very cool, I like that. Okay, hold on, there's after scene credits. Suddenly creature via G and I slowly made our way south. Those who had been under control but alive were wandering around with no memory of what had taken place. Wait, does that mean our best friend is alive still? Question mark? As soon as the creatures were stilled, it had lost control over the outside. Captain refused to leave the ship, but I had to know. After all this time, was it possible my friend was still alive? Oh, I fucking hope so. Helen, Arthur, and Vina and Gina waiting outside. Push open the dusty door to our shop. Try to find my voice to call out, but cannot find the strength. Door to the greenhouse clicks open. Gasping, I look up. Hey, he's alive! Yay, happy ending! Red shirt. Ah, I like that. That was a happy, hopeful ending. Yay! Okay, because I'm gonna say that kind of left off on a bit of a cliffhanger than otherwise, but yeah, I really liked it. Very interesting story. I liked it. I like where it went. I have to say, I also really love the art style of this game. Definitely like the background art for it. But yeah, that was the Dust of the Violet Crystals. Very cool game. Make sure you want to check out the other games made by this dev, because I quite like this. If you guys want to go check this game out for yourself and maybe find out the other endings of this game, link will be down in the description below. And this game is also free, by the way, so I'll leave you with that. But that will be ending it here, and I'll be seeing you in the next game I play.